How old are you right now? Are you 18, 37, 55, or 74? Because if you are, or if you're close, I need you to stop what you're doing and really listen to this video. Because the cosmos is not playing around right now. Something powerful is in motion and it has your name on it. We are talking about the nodal return. And this is not just another transit. This is a homecoming and a reckoning. This is the universe tapping you on the shoulder and saying, it's your time. Now, stay with me because not only will I explain the astrology of the nodal return and why it's so important, but I will also share spiritual technology that is available to you at these specific ages, the ages of 18, 37, 55, and 74. And you're going to understand exactly what this moment in your life is asking of you. Okay, now before we get into the juicy specifics, let me give you the foundation. Let me tell you about the lunar nodes, because these are not just points in astrology, this is the architecture of your soul's journey. The nodes of the moon, the north node and the south node, are always in direct opposition. They're like two ends of a cosmic compass. And that compass is pointing toward your destiny. The South Node is your past, it's your ancestral memory, it's your karmic inheritance, it's the energetic patterns that you've been living in for lifetimes. It's familiar, it's comfortable, and that's exactly why it can keep you stuck. The South Node has been compared metaphorically to that cozy, well-worn couch that you keep falling back into. The North Node is your future. It is uncharted territory. It's the version of you that you haven't fully stepped into yet. And because it's unfamiliar, it can feel scary. It can feel uncomfortable, but it is the direction of your greatest growth, your highest purpose, and your radiant becoming. Now, we are here in this lifetime to release the South Node's grip and lean courageously into the North Node. The nodes shift every 18 months, meaning the entire collective is moving through this journey together. We're all in this journey together. Right now, for example, we are in the North Node in Pisces with the South Node in Virgo axis. More on that in a moment. Now, here is where it gets deeply personal. Every 18 to 19 years, the transiting nodes return to the exact place they were when you were born. This is called your nodal return. And it happens at specific ages, 18, 37, 55, and 74. I want you to really feel into those numbers for a moment. These are not random milestones. These are initiations. They are like cosmic checkpoints where life asks you, have you grown and are you living in alignment with your soul's purpose? Or are you still playing small, still choosing comfort over calling? Now, I think of the nodal return as a hero's journey, and I don't use that saying lightly, because every great story ever told from ancient myth to modern film follows the same arc, right? The hero gets the call, they resist the call, then they cross the threshold anyway, and they face trials, and they come back transformed. Your nodal return is that call. It's the universe handing you the script to your own hero's journey and saying, okay, your next chapter is ready, but are you? So let's begin with age 18, the first return, which is really the birth of your becoming. If you are 18 right now, or very close to it, I want you to know that what you are feeling is not confusion. At 18, you are standing at the very first threshold. You are being invited for the first time in your conscious life to step into your North Node destiny. Now, the scaffolding of your childhood is falling away. The identity you wore through school, through family expectations, through everyone else's vision of who you should be, well, it's starting to feel too small. And that feeling, that restlessness, that pull towards something that you can't quite name yet, that is your soul speaking. Now, this is not the time to play it safe. This is the time to take the leap, whether that's choosing the unconventional path, following the dream people told you wasn't practical, or simply having the courage to become yourself fully and without apology. Now, it's very important for you to know that at 18, you do not have all the answers. You're not supposed to. You're 18, but you have something far more powerful than certainty. You have possibility, and don't let fear take that away. Age 37, the second return, which is like a great dismantling. 37. Okay. I remember my 37th year. Now, if there's one age I want to spend the most time on, it's definitely going to be 37. Because 37, the wisdom of 37, well, this 37 is no joke. And if you are in it right now, you already know that. So by 37, you have probably built something. You probably have a career, or you are in a serious relationship. You have a life. Maybe all of the above. And on paper, things might look fine, possibly even good. But somewhere in the quiet, in the 3 a.m. moments when the world is asleep, you feel it. A hollow ache, a knowing that something essential is missing, that the life you've constructed, however beautiful, however logical, is not fully yours. And this is what I call the great dismantling. Now, I remember my 37th year very clearly. I'm in my 50s now. I'm in my mid 50s. And my 37th year was quite the year. I walked away from a career that was just draining me. I mean, it had moments of joy. There were moments where I was enjoying what I was doing, but it was just spiritually draining me, and I was suffering from burnout. So I walked away from that career, and I was unsure as to what to do next, what to focus on next. But what became very, very clear in my 37th year, and I was living in South Africa at the time, was that I knew my soul was longing for new vistas, a change, and a complete change. And so that was the year, I think it was closer to my 38th year, but it was definitely in my 37th year that I started thinking and then acting on this dream of mine. And it was a dream that my family and I shared together, of leaving South Africa and moving to Canada. So we applied for visas, to immigrate to Canada. This was in my 37th year. So the nodal return at 37 is often one of the most disruptive returns, precisely because you have the most to lose, or at least that's what it feels like, because the stakes are higher. You might have to walk away from a career. You might have to walk away from a marriage. You might have to change countries, whatever it is, because the identity that you've created has thickened, and the commitments are very real. But it's this time when the cosmos begins to shake things up, and it can feel devastating. It can feel chaotic, but hear me clearly here. What is being dismantled is not your life. It's the version of you that was built on everyone else's blueprints. What is crumbling is the false self, making space for the true self to rise. This is what happens around the age of 37. It actually continues until the age of 42, but we will cover that in another video. So at 37, the nodal return often looks like a career that once felt purposeful, suddenly feeling hollow. That happened to me. A relationship reaching a major crossroads, a deep, undeniable pull toward a calling that you've been postponing. I just knew I had to come to Canada. It was just, I knew I had to move. There's sudden changes in friendships or communities. There's a feeling that you've outgrown your own life. And again, this is not a crisis, although this is how people start defining that midlife period between 37 to 42. They start calling it a midlife crisis. It's not a crisis, it's a graduation. So the question at 37 is not why is my life falling apart? The question is, who am I becoming? What has my soul been very patiently waiting for me to choose? This is the age where your purpose gets serious, where the universe stops being gentle about it, and where staying comfortable actually costs you more than taking the leap. So my advice, leap. Okay. Age 55, which is the third nodal return, and, a time to start harvesting your wisdom. So when we arrive at 55, this is the third return. So if 18 was the birth of your becoming, 37 is like this great dismantling, then 55 is like a harvest. And it is an extraordinary time. I'm in it. I'm in my 55th year. And truly, I've had some experiences that have been most unpleasant. And so I think I'll bring this in now. I'll talk about the spiritual technology that is available to you that you can work with. I'll bring it now because it's a nodal return, and the nodes are, of course, connected to the moon. We are talking about emotional foundations. There's a shakeup being, the emotional foundations are shook, are tested. So at 37, I experienced this complete change, which means that I walked away from not only my career, but I walked away from friendships or long-standing friendships. Well, or to be more precise, what I thought was these very strong friendships turned out to be not so strong, right? So that happened around 37. 55, and I am actually currently navigating my 55th year, which, like I say, I find extraordinarily beautiful, but also it has its own little challenges. But soon after I turned 55, I mean, immediately after I turned 55, I was betrayed by a person that I considered to be a friend. Now, this theme of betrayal is huge around the nodal returns because remember that the nodes are connected to the moon. It's all about our emotional foundations being tested. The same thing happens in our other nodal returns, so be aware of this. Now, here's a secret, and I don't really know if it's a secret, but certainly it was passed on to me by my grandmother, and she got it from her father, etc. It's been in our family for generations. Your age is connected spiritually to the Psalms. Now, I don't want to start anything here about religion. You don't have to be a Christian to understand or realize the power of the Psalms. You don't have to be Jewish either. But anyway, the Psalms are incredibly powerful, and you can use them as tools of transformation and however you wish to use it. They're magical, the Psalms, okay? If you're practicing witch, you will know these things. People have been using the Psalms for centuries. So you should read the Psalm connected to your age. So Psalm 37, you're going to read when you're 37. And ideally, you should read the Psalm daily. If not daily, then at least weekly. Now, take, for example, Psalm 37, which is a very powerful psalm of protection, but so is Psalm 55. Both are psalms of protection. Both ask God for help. Psalm 37, for example, there's a verse from Psalm 37 that appears in the sixth pentacle of Mars in Solomonic magic, by the way, in case you're interested in any of that. And it is a very powerful pentacle or seal, which returns the weapons that your enemies use on you. It returns it to them. So it's, you know, whatever you send to someone, whatever evil you send someone, whatever harm you wish on others is returned to you. Then 55 is the same. It's a very, well, not same, but it's a similar psalm of protection. So what you find is you find this theme of enemies popping up. People want, people either wanting to stab you in the back or betraying you or sending bad vibes your way. That is a theme. Now, unsurprisingly, because again of this moon connection, right? The waxing and the waning. People come, people go. And the moon as well is also associated with deception and malice. And so again, during this nodal return, you experience these things. Okay, so let's get back to 55. By the age of 55, you have lived, you have loved and lost, and you have learned. You carry within you a wealth of experience that no younger version of you could have possessed. And the nodal return at this age is asking you to do something sacred. And really, this is a big part of my work. It's to stop hoarding that wisdom. Start becoming the elder starts in our 60s, but really become that queen, that king, the person who is living as the embodied version of everything you have learned and earned through your trials. But here's the shadow side of 55. At 55, there can be this temptation toward resignation and toward giving up. It's this voice that whispers, I'm too old. No one's going to be paying any attention to me. No one cares about what I'm saying. My chances come and gone. The chapter is closed. That is the South Node talking. That is fear dressed up as wisdom. The nodal return at 55 is asking you to refuse that narrative completely. Because the truth is this, and the research, by the way, backs me up. You can go and read about all these wonderful, fabulous people who reinvent their lives, start things afresh. Like Julia Child didn't host the first television show until I think she was 51. Grandma Moses only started painting until she was 78. Your story is not over. It's not even close to over. In fact, at 55, you finally have something you didn't have at 18 or even 37. Guess what it is? You know yourself. You know what matters. You have shed the opinions that don't belong to you, or you are definitely shedding them at an alarming rate if you're still holding on to some opinions. You have survived enough to be fearless in a way that only comes from having already faced your worst fears. The nodal return at 55 is an invitation to the most authentic chapter of your life, the one where you stop performing and you start simply being, where you give your gifts without needing permission or, and this is so important in the times we're living in, or applause. Where you are living in full alignment because you have finally stopped apologizing for who you are. This is what I call the time of wearing your crown. And let's go on. Age 74, the fourth return. If you are approaching 74, or you know someone who is 74, I want to speak to this return with the reverence that it deserves, because at 74, the nodal return is less about what you are building and more about what you are leaving. It is the time where you are an elder, where you are the keeper of the flame, the ancestor. The soul at 74 is being asked, what is my legacy? That's what you are asking yourself at 74. What is my legacy? And not so much in the material sense, because this is culture, right? This is how we've been trained. What material stuff are we leaving? How many houses, cars, planes? How large is our bank account? What are we leaving in terms of material stuff? That is not what this is about. None of that stuff actually lives on after you've gone. What lives on is energy. So, what is your legacy in an energetic sense? What vibration are you seeding into the world? What vibration are you seeding into your family, into the lives of the people you have touched? How are they going to remember you? What is being passed on from you? What are they carrying from you? This return often brings a profound spiritual deepening, a letting go of what no longer matters. It's this clarity, and for many, an unexpected liberation, because at 74, the social masks, if they haven't dropped before then, definitely drop around then. And what remains is priceless and beautiful. It is the essential self. If you are in this season, know that your presence is a gift. Your wisdom is needed. Your journey has been prepared. Well, not your journey has been prepared. Your journey has prepared you perfectly for exactly this moment. Okay, now, lastly, let's try and layer in where we are collectively, because your personal nodal return is happening against a cosmic backdrop that adds even more dimension. So the transiting north node is currently in Pisces and the south node is in Virgo. This means that whatever age you are at your nodal return right now, you are being called not just personally, but collectively to embrace the themes of Pisces and release the shadow of Virgo. And so, what does this mean in simple language? It means the Virgo South Node is what you are releasing. And what are we releasing here? This obsession with perfection, this need to control every outcome, the overanalyzing, the overthinking, the compulsive need for order in a world that by nature is chaotic. The tendency to judge, the tendency to criticize ourselves and others through the harsh lens of what should be rather than what is. Sound familiar? Okay. If it sounds familiar, you don't have to just look around, you have to look within. Then the Pisces North Node is what we are embracing. We're embracing healing, compassion, spirituality, faith in the unseen. We are embracing, thank goodness, finally, dreams, the power of our dreams, the unconscious mind, art, and forgiveness. Forgiveness for others, but especially forgiving ourselves. The willingness to be present, to admit that we do not know everything, and that mystery, sweet mystery, is not a problem, but a gift to be received. For those of you in your nodal return right now, you are the living embodiment of this collective shift. Your personal transformation is rippling outward. You are making waves. The choices you make for your own elevation are, believe it or not, contributing to the healing of the whole. You are not just living your life, you are doing soul work for your lineage, for your community, for your family, for the collective consciousness. Okay, so let's bring this home. The nodal return at every age is pointing toward the thing you have been standing just outside of, afraid to fully commit to, and this is the time. So the cosmic weather is supporting you. The cosmic weather is saying, walk through that door. And if I want you to carry anything away from this video is I want you to know that you are not behind. It's not too late. You are not too old. You are not too young. You are not broken, and you are not off course. You are exactly where your soul planned for you to be at this exact moment in time. Okay, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me that you are here. If you are these ages, 18, 37, 55, 74, or you are going to be that age in the coming year, do leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling, how you're doing. And if you are in between these ages and you remember these ages, let me know. I would love to hear from you.